I think that we're really lucky in Glasgow because it's such a culturally diverse city. You know, there's so much variation for us in terms of how and where we actually can celebrate gay pride. But I think that sometimes this thing happens, you know, there's this mindset that in 2017 it's okay to be gay, it's okay to be trans, and people just think of Pride as this huge party. I mean, yes, to be honest, after years of oppression, we do deserve to get glammed up and get absolutely steaming, but Pride wasn't always just a party. It started as a protest, and it was a protest that reflected the needs of everyone that was involved in it and didn't charge an entry fee. It's a protest against every single person that thinks that they're being funny when they ask you if you're a boy or a girl, and it's a protest against how unsafe we can feel just walking down the streets on our own. It's a protest against every single person that's ever mistreated you just because of the way that you present yourself or the way that you look, because they can't seem to understand that this is just who you are. And it's a protest against people that feel the need to critique queer content and queer spaces, whether those are in real life or online, not understanding that unlike everything else in the world, it's not actually for them, and it doesn't have to be either. But it's also a protest against the heteronormative, white, middle-class representation that you see of queer people in film, TV, and other media as well, and you can even kind of see it in some aspects of Pride itself. That issue of representation is just as prevalent within our own queer communities. So as everyone's having a great time tanning their overpriced bevy at Pride, we're not really considering the people who exist at an intersection of queer identity, you know, the people that maybe can't afford the drinks, they can't afford the entry, and so they end up excluded from their community because of that. We're not considering the people of colour who feel like their identity and their experience isn't actually reflected in a commercial Pride event. And the thing is that as a community, it's really important for us to recognise all of that and to process it by trying to implement some sort of change. Pride is the day to do this, that's what I'm trying to say, I guess. It's the day that we've been given to make a statement. Some people don't like to make big bold statements, and that's totally understandable, but the thing is, it's really simple to do something. You can be making a statement just in the Pride events that you choose to attend, where you're actually choosing to spend your money. You can be making a statement just by going to the Pride March rather than just going to the after party to go off your tits, you know. You can be making a statement just by prancing down the street, living your genderqueer fantasy, you know, as long as the intention is there to do it. The thing is, at the end of the day, Pride is going to be what you make of it, and it can either say something about ourselves and it can say something about our communities, or it can just end up being this big capitalist kind of pointless niche party. But that is all entirely up to us.